of time.
He was born in Oklahoma.
Renee
Tail of two Chevys.
informed me that it was time. David was coming. So, off to the hospital we go. Into there, doctor said, "Oh, you're not ready yet." So, we wait. Finally, time to go in the living room, and I'm going like this, and they go, "No, you can't come in." I go, "Well, wait a minute, I want to see my son being born." "Well, we're going to have to put you in a straitjacket." I said, "What?" "Well, because you might not understand what the doctor's doing, and you'll get upset, and you'll interfere with the doctor." I said, "No, look, I just want to be in the room, and, with my wife, and see my son being born." They said, "Okay, you come." So, David, as was an indicator of how he's going to be later in life, as forceful eviction from his nice, warm environment, he came out screaming, protesting enormously. But, his early months were really fairly like babies do. They eat, they do other stuff, things like that.
They do.
David started to show his personality really when he was in his high chair. I take a spoon of food, put it in his mouth, half would come out. I take that half, put it in his mouth, half of that would come out. Eventually we'd get the whole spoon done. Then when he was old enough to feed himself, we'd let him do that. And then we'd put like little Cheerios or grapes on his little table there. And sometimes he'd eat them and sometimes he'd play with them. And then I'd say, "Okay, David, I'm not playing, you gotta eat. You gotta eat them." And he'd keep playing with them. I say, "Don't touch them." And I put them all off the side. David would do this. He'd look at me, and he'd go over with his finger, and he started playing with them. David was a very adventuresome boy. When he went out of the bassinet into the crib, we put the crib at a higher level so he could, stand up and see out. And one night we hear this, and we go in there and David's on the floor. Oh no! Lower the bed. Works for a couple weeks. Again, on the floor. So we're going to lower it all the way, and David's like this. So we figured he can't get out of there. That lasts for about a month. Then we're out in the living room, and here comes David. Walking out and going, "It's time to get out of bed." So I take him back in bed. "David, you got to stay in bed." Close the door about this far, and I watch. He lays there, looks around, gets up, crawls up over the bed, down. I catch him. I go, "No." Back in bed. So I figured it was time for his own bed. But David and his walking, Uncle Bruce, his uncle, he and I were there one time, and David had been pulling himself up and kind of walking and falling. We said, "Let's see if David can walk." He was about 11 months. So we're sitting down on the floor, and our legs are on the floor, and they're spread apart, and our feet are touching. And so we're going like this, and David's taking these little steps, and we move further and further back. There's a gap between us, and David decides, once he can walk, he's having the greatest time, he decides he's going to make a turn and go down the hallway and into his room. After that, David was running all of the time. And we had a neighbor below us. John worked a swing shift. And David would get up early in the morning. John would be, trying to sleep, and David... And finally, John decided he was going to bang on the wall with a broom.
But he became your best friend.
John did become my best friend from there. It didn't look like it was going to go that way. What I have to mention also is David and his sister, Michelle, are two of the bright spots in my universe, and they have made my life a pleasure that I could not have believed when I was a father.
By leaving home.
At an early age, David developed some of the traits that you see in him today. Determination, self-confidence, inquisitiveness, a sense of right and wrong, that he was right and everybody else.
We gotta take a position.
David said one time he was going to run for some office at school, and his slogan was going to be, "You need me." Very concise, very to the point.
That might have been when he was president of the Alien Society.
That was a beer drinking society.
I think you can see how some of these traits have come through. Like I said, David was extremely high energy. David was incredibly high energy. Thank goodness for sports, for football and track for David, because it helped him direct his energy so we didn't have quite so much at home. David had certain chores he had to do, like one of them was cleaning up his room. And you'd think cleaning up his room fairly easy. Well, it became one of those battlegrounds, and when you're a parent, you have to choose your battles. So our choice was to basically say, David, you keep your door closed, and we won't talk about what happens in your room. But if your door is open, and we see it open, then you have to clean up your room. And this went on fine for, I don't know, a couple of months. One morning, David struggles out of bed, goes down to the bathroom. I come out of the kitchen, I notice the door's open. So I sit there like this and wait for him to come out. Comes out of the bathroom, his eyes get hugely wide. He starts stammering, running down the hall, protesting, trying to talk me out of it. And I said, you remember the agreement, David? You gotta clean up your room. When you come home, you clean up your room. He actually did. He did that.
Once.
Once. Then he kept the door closed. The clothes washing was another thing. David had a system for clean clothes and dirty clothes. One pile was clean, one pile was dirty. And when they got mixed up, they were all dirty. They went back into the washing machine. That was him cleaning up his, taking care of that. David was a voracious eater also. As a young growing boy, you could see that. It was like cut in the mouth, one or two bites, swallow. So I tried to explain to him the benefits of chewing his food. Kind of fell on deaf ears, and I threatened, okay, David, so you're not going to chew your food. I'm going to put it in the blender and mix it for you and just drink it. Well, he didn't think that was going to happen. One night, I got like this. I said, okay, you're done. Go like that. Put it all in the Vitamix, put the milk in there, everything, the salad, the meat, whatever, blended it up. Poured it in a glass, put it in front of him. He goes, I'm not going to drink that. I go, I guess you're not going to eat. So he got up in his room. Next morning, comes out for breakfast. There's his glass of stuff.
This explains a lot, right?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
That night, David comes out for dinner. Peggy, wonderful cook, set out this wonderful spread. There's David's glass there. So he goes, gags down about a third. I said, Dave, would you like to eat with us? He goes, yeah. So I said, go get a plate. So he was able to eat with us then, and he ate reasonably well, and I think he's a much better eater these days. I wanted to stick with the early years, and you folks have seen how David has grown over the years. I am.
Not really, no.
Come on. We got a lot more drinking to do.
Come on, he can wear a skirt now.
We're extremely proud of what he's done, and you know, somebody once said you can judge yourself by the friends that you keep, and from what I see here, he has a great
and the family we keep.
Yeah, and I think he's very fortunate to be able to call your friends. We're fortunate to call him our son.
Yeah.
Well, I I just have a few words.
I'm
Everybody else
I
wants to step in.
So the last 50 years have been
Wait, you're 50?
Yeah, we're 70.
have been up and downs and great times and challenging times, but the last 12, 15 years with my wife and 12 years with my son have been the best years. Max, get off the Xbox!
We're never gonna see him again anyway.
That's right, he's on that.
Believe me, we know.
So enjoy. Thank you all for coming out. This
By
is,
the way, if there's anybody else that
Dad, I'm talking.
I know you're
Thank you all for coming out. Enjoy yourselves. Please stay, and it's great to have you as friends.
Okay, wait, I have a few words.
You should have learned by now. Who's got the last word?
I have to have the last word. I will be much briefer than Bill. But I want to thank the cooks. Tim,
Yes.
all the meat, including the smoked salmon. I mean, everything was amazing. Peggy, Laurie, Renee, Michelle, Janet cooked like hours worth of little cheese biscuits. Greta, who am I leaving out? I had a lot of help putting everything together, and everybody did a great job. And we lied like a rug.
Hey, Pastor, you need to get in here and do
And he's afraid of me now for how good of a life I am. So bad. But we wanted to make it special for you, Dave, and
Yes.
I love you.
Thank you. It was
You're the
great.
best husband, and I wish you just the best birthday, and I hope we spend another 50 years together.
You will.